Well, hello there, all you strange and interesting creatures of the internet. Welcome back to the All Seasons on F1 2020. Yes, it's still me against Lulu, and there we are, still top of the table in the vehicle performance comparison chart. It's time to bowl on some more parts onto the car because we're going to make sure we're even faster because we don't want to get caught by Ferrari. No. Definitely not. Let's move on to the next Grand Prix. It's time for Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, how we love you so. Practice has been completed. As you can see, some more lovely resource points to add to our collection. Fantastic. So, as regular viewers will know, we do pretty well here, so this is the chance that we need to try to close up the points gap between us and Lewis Hamilton as we get an exceeding track limits warning, but it doesn't matter because I think we're going to put in a good time. Yes, we have. It's the fastest lap of the race so far. Fan-bloody-tastic. Get in there, Hookster. Get in there indeed. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to a little bit later to qualify. And you can see we are still at the top, but we're about to, I think, improve on that time. So this time it's going to be a legitimate fastest lap. And it is. It is. We've done it again. Hamilton in second. We're still top of the heap at the moment as we accelerate forward now to a little bit later to qualifying. And once again, it looks like we are going to go for the third fastest lap of this qualifying session as we're about to cross the line, and we've done it. Yes, we've done it. An embarrassment of riches. We have got it for the third time, and that's it. Qualifying is over. Surely we're going to stay in pole position after that. Surely we are just about to find out it's about to cross the line, and it is going to be, I'm sure it's still going to be first place. It's got to be. It's got to be. Come on. Yes, indeedy. Mr. McGreedy. Top spot for the Hookster. Second place for Lulu, unless he's dropped out. No, he hasn't. There he is. Second place for Lulu. Third for Daniel Kvyat. Fourth for Maxi Boy Verstappen. Okay then. Let's do this.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average lap speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. The captain lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Kvyat, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Stroll, Gasly, Norris, Albon and George Russell, Bottas, Perez, Nick de Vries and Ricciardo, Matsushita, Magnussen. They've taken a grid penalty, Antonio Giovinazzi and Carlos Sainz. Raikkonen and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Okay, so once again it's time for the 5 lights to go out on the All Seasons clear mode, and we say go, 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 and it's away we go from pole. I think there's going to be a lot of looking back during this race as we're about to go into the first turn. There it is, there's Lulu. He's having a little bit of pressure there from the Ferrari. I'm not quite sure he's going to get through. A little bit of squeezing from the back there, a little bit of squeezing from the cars behind, but Lulu, as he got past, has Kvyat got past Hamilton. No, he hasn't, so Hamilton's still in second place, but already we've got the gap up to 1 second. 1 second. We've only just done, I think, two corners. Look at the gap we've got out onto Lulu. I can't believe it, and we're now putting in fastest sector times as well. It's all getting very, very embarrassing, it has to be said, but yes, the Hookster has done it. First place, still in the race, and we're about to complete lap 1. Hamilton is sort of 3/4 of a second, a little bit more than that behind us at the moment, but he is catching, as you can see. Look at this, he had a little bit of trouble at the start there, a little bit of hassle with Daniel Kvyat in the Ferrari, but he's now got past him easily, and now he is on the hunt. He is on the attack for the Hookster. And we've got a little bit of flag going on, a little bit of a yellow flag at the back of the field. I can see on the mini-map, a little bit of green flag going on. I don't know what's... No, it's okay, it's all good. So there you go then, the end of the first lap. And the Hookster still in the lead of this race. But can we hold on to it? Can we hold off Hamilton? We're about to find out as we go into the next lap. As you can see now, we're on lap 3, still in the lead at the moment, and still the gap is almost a second between us and Lewis Hamilton. Kvyat's in 3rd, Verstappen's in 4th, and Leclerc is in 5th place. And yet again, we are still banging in those purple sector tyres, which is great news for us. And just looking back now, there is Lewis Hamilton, sort of gaining a little bit of ground on us, but not too bad, as we are managing to hold him off as we go through that chicane there. Very, very tight chicane. So there you go then. Still in the lead for the Hookster. On lap 3 at the moment. Half a second is the gap to us and Hamilton. So we accelerate forward on lap 4. Just going down the start and finish line. Hamilton has closed the gap a little bit as he's now putting the fastest lap as well. Hamilton is now the fastest car on the circuit, which could be a huge amount of trouble for the Hookster if he can't hold him off. But can he hold him off? As we accelerate forward to lap 5. Yes, and now look at the gap. The gap is now less than half a second, and you can see it visually in the rearview mirror there. Lewis Hamilton is trying, like desperation, trying to get past the Hookster as we're now about to go into this very, very tight right hander, and Hamilton's gone for a move down the inside, I do believe, but no, the Hookster manages to hold him off and hold on to this first place as we accelerate forward to lap 8. And you can see it's started to rain. It has started to rain out on the circuit. So I think we're going to come in for the intermediate tyres. They did forecast the rain, and yes, so in we come from the lead of the race. Oh no, Hamilton's coming as well. Oh no, disaster for Lulu. Hamilton's coming. There's nothing we could do about that. We had to come in for our stop because it was raining. Otherwise, we would have ended up right down the field. But yes, as you can see, we both came in together. We'll go to a replay of that at the end of this race and see exactly what happened between Lewis Hamilton there and the pit stop. But it looks like Hamilton's really lost out to us, unfortunately. It's not how I wanted to win this season, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and we had to come in because it was raining. There was no other option. So Hamilton's he's still in the pits at the moment as we rejoin in second position behind Verstappen, but he's still on the dry tyre, so he's got to come in for his pit stop. As we accelerate forward at lap 9, just going past the pits, Verstappen has now come in for his pit stop, so we're going to go into the lead of this race, which is great news for us. And Hamilton is in 4th place, so he's only 8 seconds behind, so he didn't lose that much in that pit. I don't think he did anyway, but yes, Hamilton in 4th position. Now he's in 3rd place as we accelerate forward on lap 10. Yes, 3rd position for Hamilton, 8.8 seconds, and Kevin Magnussen is out of the session. K-Mag is out. Just look at the mini-map, you can see the little yellow line there to say that there's a yellow section on the track, and Magnussen is out of the Grand Prix. Wowzers, me trousers, as we accelerate forward out to lap 11. So Hookster still in the lead, and the gap to Kvyat, the car in 2nd place, is 6.9 seconds, and Hamilton's still there in 3rd, but he's 8 seconds behind, so I don't think he's going to be able to catch us. So it's going to be a 3rd place for Hamilton, so we are going to pull some points back, but not as many as I thought we would do, actually. Yes, because Hamilton, he's still got the place in that car as we accelerate forward to lap 14. Still in the lead. The gap now to Kvyat is 9 seconds. 10 seconds between us and all-important Hamilton. Yes, 10 seconds at the moment as we go into the final stages of this Grand Prix. As we accelerate forward now to lap 18. That's it. That's the end of the Grand Prix. We are going to win it. You can see the rain is pissing down now. It's really time for some fall wets, but we're going to carry on these intermediates to the end of the race because we've only got this final Champions Wall chicane to go through, and we have won the race. Come on, Hookster, come on, get in there, and he crosses the line right now. Yes, 1st place. That's exactly what we needed for this championship. Yes, exactly what we needed. It was unfortunate with Hamilton having to come in on the same lap, but as I say, there was nothing we could do. Driver of the day goes to Carlos Sainz. It was raining, so we had to come in for our stop, and we were the car in front. Don't forget, we were the car in front. And there's Toto Wolff, the Terminator. Is your name Sarah Connor? No, it's Louise Minchin. Louise Minchin. Is it? I've never heard of that name. Anyway, there he is, everyone. And there is famous F1 YouTuber Alex Gillian in the background as he becomes. Look at him, look. Facebook gaming extraordinaire. Yes. He gets about 1,000 views per video or something like that anyway, because that's what you get on Facebook gaming. And there's... And there's Lance Stroll, yes, and up onto the top step goes Hookster. Look at him, just look at him, full of fire and bluster. Yes, only 39 years old and he's still winning races, and the champagne goes over everyone, including Daniel Kvyat. Fantastic. Great stuff, Hookster. Great stuff indeed. Who says you're all washed up? Who says it? Well, everyone in my comment section. Anyway, let's go to a replay and see exactly what happened between Lewis Hamilton and us. So we come in for our stop. Lewis Hamilton has to, unfortunately, rack and stack behind us. Well, there was quite a gap there, but it wasn't too bad. I think he lost about 2 seconds as the pit crew weren't quite ready for him. But fortunately for that, he didn't have to wait for any cars coming in for their stop. So he didn't lose any time there, but I think he may have lost about 2 seconds all told. So I don't know whether he would have actually caught us anyway, to be honest. Anyway, there you go then. First place to Hookster. Third place for Lewis Hamilton. Let's go to those all-important championship standings and see where we are now. Orgasm inbound almost. 3 points behind Lulu now. We are just 3 points behind Lewis Hamilton. Fantastic. Can we overtake you in the next race? We're still first in the constructors. Wowzers. So we move on now. Before we do, it's time to go to an invitational event in Spain. Yes, Spain. Home of Carmen Jordan. And also, as you can see, it's the 1998 McLaren. What a beautiful car this was. Designed, of course, by the legendary Adrian Newey while he was still working for Williams. Well, in fact, he wasn't, because at the start of the 1997 season, he actually left Williams. He designed that car, but he said, nope, that's it, I'm out of here. Unofficially, he was working on this car, although none of this was ever said officially, but he was working on this car in secret for McLaren for the 1998 season. And what a car it was straight out of the box. It was absolutely unbeatable. In fact, all the other teams just said, you know what? We should just go home now because there's just no chance. This car was absolutely fantastic. Mika Hakkinen, of course, at the wheel, and David Coulthard as well. And it just beat everyone. It was one of the greatest performances, I think, until 2009 when Brawn came along and actually beat everyone as well. Well, until the end of the season when all the other teams started to catch up, of course. But anyway, we have passed our overtake challenge in the beautiful 1998 McLaren. It's time to move on now to it's Paul Richard. Bloody hell, Paul Richard. Yes, not very good at this circuit, but we'll give it our best. Practice has now been completed. Some more lovely, jubbly, wobbly resource points to add to our collection. I'm going to say it again. Fantastic. So here we are at Paul Richard, and this of course is a circuit that's pretty average for the Hookster. He usually ends up with about top 10 in the races, but nothing really to write home about. So let's have a look and see what he puts in for his first qualifying run, and it's going to be... it's 4th position at the moment, just shy of the pole though, so it's not too bad for the Hookster. As we now go into a little bit later to qualifying, you can see, look at this, he is up on his delta time. 5th place he's dropped down to at the moment, but he's definitely up on the deltas, so this could be a good time indeed, as we're just going around the final corners here to complete his second qualifying run. Is this going to be enough to get him into maybe the top 3? I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look. He's almost a second up now as we're coming around the final corner. This could be on for a good lap. We lost a little bit of time there, but let's have a look and see where this puts him. He's about to cross the line, and it's going to be... bloody hell! First place, we got pole. I can't believe it. We got pole out of that. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. Anyway, a little bit later to qualify, you can see we've dropped out of 3rd place now. Hamilton has predictably got the pole, but look at our delta time. Look at the delta time. We're almost a second up now at the moment. Almost a second. I think we could snatch pole away from Lulu here as we're just about to go around the final corner. Let's see if we do. We're still a second up. This is looking good for pole position for the Hookster. Let's have a look and see what happens as he crosses the line. And yes! Fuck. Get in there. Pole position. I can't believe we got pole at Paul Ricard. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's the end of qualifying. We've still got pole position, and we're still just a little tiny bit up on the deltas. I don't know if we're going to lose it as we come in the final corner. No, we've still got it at the moment. So this may be actually an improvement on our pole lap. Let's have a look as we're about to cross the line. And yes, it is. Wow. This is an embarrassment. I have to say, this is a total embarrassment. Hamilton in 2nd place. at the moment. Let's have a look and see whether that's going to stay like that as we go round to the final seconds of qualifying. Just about to cross the line now. Are we going to stay in pole position or are we going to lose it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I bet we've lost it. I bet we've... No, we still got it. Yes, first place at Paul Richard. Unbelievable scenes. The crowd's going crazy. First place to Duxter, second place for Lewis Hamilton. Okay then, let's bloody well do this.
Welcome along then to France, host of the world famous Tour de France. But we're not talking two wheels today, we're talking four, in a country widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing back in the late 1800s. We've come a long way since then, and you're about to find out how far. It's time for the French Grand Prix. 6 lefts and 9 rights give us a total of 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, and a lap covers an overall distance of 3.6 miles. Average speeds will be somewhere in the region of 142 miles per hour, and they'll be maxing out on the Mistral Straight at around 205 miles per hour. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. The captain lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Daniel Kvyat, and Gasly, Bottas, Albon, Perez, and Carlos Sainz. Norris, Matsushita, Daniel Ricciardo, and Stroll, Russell, Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Nick de Vries. Ocon and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So it's time once again for the 5 lights to go out on the all-seasons career mode, and we say go, 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 and it's here we go. Don't forget, from pole position, once again, there's going to be a lot of looking back during this race, I do believe. And there you can see, there is Lewis Hamilton. Is he still fighting with the Ferrari once again of Daniel Kvyat? I think he is. No, it's Verstappen this time. It's Verstappen, but Hamilton's managed to get past Verstappen, so up into second place now for Hamilton. Verstappen in third, Gasly, I think, in fourth position there in the AlphaTauri. Look at this, and you can see the gap now visually, how far ahead we are to Lewis Hamilton. It's not as much as it was in Canada. You can see he's definitely catching up very, very quickly to our rear end. So this is the first lap of the race. We are now putting a fastest first sector lap, so this is good. This is really, really good. But Hamilton is a lot closer than he was at Canada. He's got the gap down to half a second. In fact, he's getting closer every so as we knock out the Ballard, and Hamilton is getting very, very close now. Very, very close indeed. Verstappen still in third position. Gasly in fourth, Leclerc in fifth position. Look at this, This is going to be a battle with the teammates, I'm sure it is. But at the moment, we are still ahead, and the gap is just over half a second. Yes, half a second between us and Lewis Hamilton. You can also see that the sky is looking very, very cloudy and overcast. They have forecast rain, so we will see what happens as we go through the rest of this Grand Prix to see if, once again, just like Canada, we've got to come in for a pit stop onto the intermediate tyres. I think they've just copy-pasted the actual race conditions from the last race, to be honest. But anyway, we're about to complete lap 1. Still in the lead at the moment. Hamilton still right up our derriere in second position, just shy of half a second behind us. Wowzers. As we put in the fastest lap, of course, and we accelerate put on lap 2, and it has started to rain. You can see some raindrops on the screen. Oh no, as we now put in another fastest lap on lap 3. Yes, another fastest lap, so that's good. We've got the gap up to Hamilton of about 1.2 seconds, 1.1 seconds now. So that's good news as we accelerate forward now to the end of lap 3, and I think it's raining hard enough. I think we're going to come in to go on to the intermediate tyres. I think we're going to do it. Yes, we are. We're coming in for the inters because Jeff, the mechanic, has just told us that it's going to start raining even harder. So we're going to come in early. We're going to take a gamble, and hopefully this is going to pay off. So in we come then for the intermediates. Thank you, team. Yes, there they are. There's the intermediate tyres going on for us, and out we go. Now, of course, we're going to rejoin the field, I do believe, in about last place by the time we get out, because everyone else is going to go past us, and yes, they have. So we rejoin in last place. Everyone else still out on the soft tyres, but this could be a brilliant strategy, or it could be a complete and utter disaster. But the Hookster has called it, so we will see what happens as he rejoins the field now in last place. behind Mitsubishi. Oh my goodness, I was just about to say behind Mitsubishi, Lump of Shitty, and Lump of Shitty is now out of the Grand Prix. You can see the yellow flag section. We're just about to pass him. There he is off to the right hand side, so he is out of the Grand Prix in his Renault car, and we've made up one position up into 19th place at the moment, and all the other cars are still going around, of course, on those soft tyres. We're excited for lap 4, just going past the pits, and we've got a little problem here, everyone. No one has come in to change onto the intermediates. Don't know what quite's going on here. It's definitely getting harder. You can see the rain's coming down a little bit harder now. These intermediates, they feel like they're okay, to be honest, but now the other cars are coming. We're excited for lap 5, just going past the pits again, and they haven't come in again. Wait a minute, they have come in, but they've come in for dry tyres. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. They've come in for dry tyres and we're still on intermediates. So this is one of those races where the conditions just aren't wet enough for the intermediates and they're still going around on dries. Oh no, this is going to be an absolute disaster, this race, as we accelerate forward out of lap 7. Well, we're going to come in again. We've got no choice. We've got to come in again for some dry tyres. We need some dry tyres. These intermediates just aren't working. You can see where we are on the mini-map, how far we are behind everyone else. And we're changing now onto the... I said dry... No! Oh, no, I don't believe it. Our team has completely screwed us. We did call for the intermediates, but they... No, sorry, we called for the dries, but they put the inters back on again. Or did we call for the... Oh, I'm not quite sure now. I'm not quite sure. Hookster may have made a fundamental error in this race and we've gone back out on intermediates. These are now the wrong tyres for the current conditions at the moment. Oh God. Oh God. As we accelerate forward out lap 8, and as you can see, we are now coming in again because these tyres are just no good. Even though it is absolutely pissing down, you can see it visually pissing down, it's not enough for wet tyres. It doesn't make much sense to me, so we're coming in now. Now we're going to finally put on the dry tyres, but it's game over for any points in this race. Absolute game over. We've gone to the soft tyre, the softest tyre we could find, but it's not going to be enough because just look at the gap between us. In fact, the whole field is about to lap us very, very soon on lap 8. This has been a complete and utter disaster. We have lost a lot of points, and where's Lulu? I think Lulu's in possibly second place. He's not in the lead. It's a car going past us, or just about to come past us, who's in the lead. It looks like a Williams. Surely not. Anyway, we accelerate forward out to lap 9. And that's... Oh, no, I don't believe it. The DRS has been disabled. So now it is time for intermediate tyres. Oh, we've been completely fucked on this race. We have been absolutely screwed right over. Raikkonen's already gone onto intermediates. We're now on dry tyres. These are the wrong tyres now. These are the wrong tyres. I don't fucking believe it. Wow. This has been a complete and utter cock-up. A complete disaster. Not really our fault because you can see how much rain's coming down, but there you go. So in we come now for our 4th pit stop of this Grand Prix, and now we're going to change back onto the intermediates that we quite possibly should have just run. I think we should have just run the inters. What do you think in the chat? Should have just run the intermediates? I still don't think we would have got any points though. We would have been right down the field because the inters weren't fast enough. But yeah, if we had just run the inters until the end of the race, I think we would have possibly, I don't know, got a top 10 finish, possibly. But even now, I don't think we would have done because we're just too slow on those inters. Anyway, we rejoin on lap 11. And look at this going past us. It's George of the Russell in first position in the Williams car. That's unbelievable. How on earth did this happen? But it has happened as we accelerate forward lap 12. And George Russell is still in the lead of this race. And Lulu, I do believe, is in second place now behind us. So that's going to be quite a few points for him and quite a few not points for us. Unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes. On the All Seasons, as the Hookster makes a fundamental strategy mistake. Well, it's not really a fundamental mistake because we thought we were on a good strategy here. Unfortunately, it wasn't because it wasn't quite raining hard enough for the changing of the tyres. Anyway, we're about to go into the final lap of this Grand Prix. George Russell, it looks like he's still in the... Oh, in fact, that's it because we've been lapped. That's it. That's the end of the race. And yes, George Russell has won the race and we finish in an absolutely disastrous 19th place. But anyway, George of the Russell gets driver of the day. Driver of the bloody day. And there is Claire Williams. She must be absolutely wet. She must be absolutely ecstatic with that. Absolutely ecstatic. There he is. There's George of the Russell. Look at that. I can't believe it. How did he pull that out of the bag? In a Williams. Don't forget Williams in 2020. They're right down the field. Oh dear, there's JD TRL Limitless. Anyway, they're right down the field. So how did they pull that off? And Dedrick Kvyat finished in 4th place. Fantastic for him. So on to the podium now. There he is. There is George of the Russell. I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned. That just goes to show you how much of a crazy race this was. He must have had the perfect strategy for this race. Absolutely perfect for George of the Russell. And he won it. And he bloody well won it. Yes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay then, let's go to those all-important championship points after this round. Oh God, do we have to? Do we have to? So there you go then. 2nd place went to Lewis Hamilton. 1st for George Russell. And 19th for the Hookster, which is basically last because Mitchell Bushy lump of shitty didn't finish. So in the standings now, it's 21 points now between us and Lulu. Is the deficit? Oh God. Still first in the constructors, as you can see. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome. As always, another exciting episode of the All Seasons has been completed. And yes, of course, there will, of course, be more later.